On Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court handed Donald Trump a major victory by tossing out all of the Emoluments Clause violation lawsuits against him. Now, these are lawsuits we have talked about ad nauseum here at Ring of Fire over the years. We've talked about the times they've been allowed to proceed in court. We've talked about the times the lower courts have thrown them out, and then the appellate courts would bring them back, and now it's over. It is officially over because this ruling by the Supreme Court not only kills the cases they were hearing, but all of the other cases that were still in the lower courts. That's part of the ruling. Now, the reason that this court gave as to why these groups, including Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, cannot sue the president for these Emoluments Clause violations is because, as they put it, the Supreme Court put it, it's a moot point. He's not president anymore, so what are you going to do? You can't sue him for breaking the law, possibly, while he was president, because he's not the president anymore. I think the best analysis of this that I've seen came from Lee Camp on Twitter when he said, that's like saying you can't charge a guy for robbing a bank because he already walked out of the bank. Like he's just not inside there anymore, so you just get away with it. And that's what we're looking at here with the Supreme Court. But here's the thing for me. This was never about making Trump pay the money back. Okay, that was never the point of this. The point of this was to make sure that things like this don't happen in the future and that future presidents divest all of their holdings before they get sworn in. This was about accountability, not for Trump, but for the office of the presidency itself. That's what this was about. And the U.S. Supreme Court just said, nah, to hell with it. Thereby opening the door for future presidents to just do the same thing. As I've mentioned, every time I think I've ever talked about the Emoluments Clause lawsuits, in order to avoid any potential conflicts of interest, Jimmy Carter was made to sell his peanut farm because they didn't want him cashing in by selling more peanuts because he's the president of the United States. Meanwhile, we had foreign leaders who would book huge blocks of rooms at Trump's hotel right there in D.C. down the street from the White House and never use them. They'd pay in advance. They just wouldn't use them because they believed it was their way to buy influence with Donald Trump, to curry favor with Donald Trump. And the Supreme Court says maybe that's the case, but he's gone. We can't do anything about it. And this is another reason why Joe Biden needs to get off his duff right now and reform that Supreme Court. This can't stand. And Trump, he's got 3 judges on that Supreme Court that are going to be there for a very long time. We deserve better. The office of the presidency deserves better than this. And the Supreme Court did exactly what Donald Trump wanted them to do, handed him a major gift by saying, oops, he left office. You don't get to hold him accountable now. One of today's video sponsors is Privacy, and right now they have a wonderful offer for all of our Ring of Fire viewers. Go to privacy.com/ROF. Sign up for your Privacy account and you will receive $5. Privacy.com, their service is absolutely one of the most vital in an online world today, especially during the pandemic. Everyone is encouraged to stay home, so we're ordering more things online. And so your bank account information is more vulnerable than ever. Privacy gives you security. This is a product that I use all of the time. And here's why. If you have ever had your bank account information stolen, if it's been part of a data leak, that is a massive headache, trying to get your money back, trying to repair your credit. Privacy helps take away some of that concern. What Privacy does is it provides a browser extension, or you can go right into the website or into the app, and it can create a virtual bank account or credit card number. It can be a temporary number that only is used one time, or it can be merchant specific, meaning you can create a bank account card that only works for one particular website. So if that account happens to get hacked or has a massive data breach, that card number no longer works with any other website. That is how privacy helps protect your bank account information in an increasingly insecure online world. So again, go to privacy.com/ROF. You get $5 free just for signing up, or if you don't want to type it in, just click the link at the top of the video description below.